Hello, welcome. My name is Manuel from Kata Studios. Today we are going to do a rundown on the website that I submitted lately for Module 9 and Module 10 so that we can see what we can do to make things better from there. So we're going to run this very quickly. This is our first revision like this, though we have done some revisions for some projects in the past, but this would be our first visual revision for our web design course. So first we are going to be going with spatial design. You made this concept. I don't think this shop functions well, but that's okay. We have the home page and that's what we need for this project. So from the top left corner, I see you did very well with the logo and the background matches very well with the logo color itself. The menu elements, I'm not a great fan of border bottom, okay? Especially when we have a divider. We already have a hero section that have a black color, then this particular header have a light color, and that shows there is a divider in between these two elements. If it is the same color that the hero section have that the header has, then it is okay to add a bottom border. You get the point. But when there is this separation, adding another bottom border makes it difficult for people to enjoy the content and how it flows. Visually, this is a no. Heading over to your cat icon, I would suggest next one use a stroke element. Don't use field elements or field SVG or field icons for your cat icon. Example of what we are talking about is right here. So make sure you use stroke elements, not field elements. It's more visually appealing than what we have. For the hero section, you did very well from here, as we can see. But this particular text, I'm not really great fan of this. This could be 16 pixels. Let's check this out. Should be using 17, 18, 19 pixels. 17, 18, 19 pixels is okay. Okay, this is 16 pixels, as you can see. So whenever you're using a font, try 17, 18, 19. 18, 19, 20 is okay for hero section so that things can be a little bit larger. If you realize that the text is getting too much, you can reduce the content of the text so that they can still maintain 2 lines. Your buttons, I'm not a great fan of this. Your button should be as bold as it should. As you can see from here with button, we have very bold button. As you can see from here also, we have very bold button. It is very important, significant to make it easy for people to click on the main call to action you want them to click on. So don't make it difficult for people to click on elements. Your hero image should move to the right corner, okay? Since it's a singular image, not image with multiple backgrounds. So move it to the right corner, it will make more sense from there. So we go down to the recent updated. I think this should be the product area. The space, the gota, this is called gota, okay, or you call it gap. So the gap or space you give between these elements are too much, okay? Instead, you increase the image size or you increase the content itself, and that will give room to give at least 20 to 30 pixels of gap between elements by column, which means number 1, number 2, number 3 should be 20 to 30 pixels, but column by row, it should be around 50 pixels. So the space between elements from the middle should be within 50 pixels, 30 to 50 pixels, but the space between elements like this should be within 20 to 30 pixels. So get that in mind. Let me show you an example of what we mean by here. So you see the column we have from here is 10 pixels and the column we have from here is 30 pixels. So the space between elements vertically by column should be wider than the space between elements by row. So that is also pointed out. And your button, see how we deal with buttons. Button should be by default filled. Product button should be by default filled. Then it's when they hover on it that the button becomes a stroke. What button you make a stroke is secondary or tertiary button. We are going to talk about that. Primary buttons are main button to that particular action you want people to take. So you want people to purchase this product, you then have to make it a field color, not a stroke color. So people can easily read through what, as you can see, it's easy to read as it is than to read the other ones. So make sure you make that correction. Recently, area, this should be 2 lines. Make sure your texts are within 2 lines. Your body text for every other section except for sections that could have multiple more information inside it, then you can allow those. But for body text, for heading element like this, for sections like this, make sure they are within 2 lines. So you can just expand the width of that particular element and you are good to go. Remove these 2 dots here. I don't think this makes any sense. So scrolling down, we are getting to the next section. I loved what he did in this section. It's nice. I wonder what this icon over here is. Anything that doesn't serve any purpose, pull it out. And also this section could have 4 lines. Okay, so don't stretch your element, making it difficult for people to read. Your body text element shouldn't be wider than 8 words. So 8 words are okay. 10 words are also okay. So if it's more than 10 words, you can break it to the next line and break it to the next line, depending on how much content you have going on. The image here is also okay. For this one, I don't enjoy the fact that this is a count, number 1, number 2. That doesn't make any sense. So pull that count out. We don't need that count because it doesn't make any sense. Why will you start counting sections for people? That doesn't even prove any point. Now in this section, I would suggest that this particular image should be 50% of the width of this section, or this particular container inside of this section, 50% width, and the text 50% width. That's why the text is taking too much of space, and it's difficult for people to read through from here to the end and come back to here again and to start reading again. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so make sure the image 50%. Then when you get to the next section, the image will have a reverse column, which means the image will go to the right and the text from here will go to the left. When you come to the next one, the image will stay in the left and the text will stay in the right. Make sure they are 50% each. Okay, do the same all through till you get to the bottom parts. This part, as you are seeing here, we have a widow text here. A widow text is a text or a word. A widow word or an orphan word is a word that stands alone in a paragraph, and that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so what you need to do, and most importantly, your heading text should be wider than the body text. There shouldn't be any case. It should be rare anyway. There could be cases like that, but it should be rare that your body text is wider than your heading text. Why your body text pulling up to this end, it doesn't make any sense. Body text should stop somewhere here. Let me show you an example of what we mean by that. For instance, we have this body text. You see, stopping halfway. Let's check out another body text. Okay, we have this body text. You see this case, this situation, because of the text itself, we want it to be a little slicky. That's why we have this body text popping out, and because it is in a section that don't allow body text content to be as wide as that. If it is standing alone on its own section, this text could be wider and this body text will go, but still at that, the body text didn't consume enough space. Let me show you something again from here. Okay, now new arrival is an exceptional because we have singular elements here, but still the essence of this, that's why I say some cases it can prevail. Some cases, in most cases, you shouldn't put your body text over the heading text. I'm coming to that. Now this one, you see that we have just new arrival. This is not a major heading text. Why? Because it is only major heading texts that are bolder and that have more content to deal with. For instance, when we come down to this particular part, this is a major heading text. When we go to the hero section, this is a major heading text. You see, the body text is within its boundary. It wouldn't cross the heading text. I will explain all of this in the future, okay? When we get to this homepage, you see the heading text. This is a major heading text. Now, why I'm trying to take time to explain this, so you don't misunderstand it and say, okay, this one, we have this case like this. Now, if this element itself is center aligned, if this grateful client is center aligned here, the body text can like pass that boundary. But still, it shouldn't be as wide as this. See what we have from here. An example, you see it's still not as wide as what we have from here. This is too wide. So cut it out, especially from here. Then this one element should go and join the review. That is that. Then this one, the text is too tiny. I wonder why you are not using a consistent content in your website. The text we have from here is very tiny compared to the text, some of the text we have from your website. Almost all the text, as I can see now, is very tiny. This one should be 2 lines, like I said. So the text you should be using for your elements are 17 pixels. Make sure your own web is 17 pixels. 17, 18, 19 pixels. Don't use 16 pixels, okay? So that's what you're doing, so that it can scale. People can see it from afar. On laptop view, this will not make any sense. So that is it for that. This image section is okay, but I don't like this bold slider. It doesn't make any sense. Let me show you an example of a slider, and you see that you don't even need to put content like that. Like this is a slider. You see, this is a slider. We can slide left and right, but we don't see any line beneath it. That doesn't make any sense to have lines like that in your slider. Okay, this not making much sense. Allow people to use the arrow to slide, or they can use their mouse to drag along. You did perfectly well here, but we're having a widow text here, so make sure it joins this other two. Let it just be 2 lines. That's the essence of that. And we still have that same issue from the buttons from here, and you did well from this part, but this could be 4 content. Okay, create more space and add 1 more content, making it 4. Then this side we have the footer. The footer, where is the, see, whenever you're creating a footer, make sure you put the name of the brand at the bottom part and put the name of the designer by the right side. This should be a prevailing rule, okay? Then we have the menu from here, and the menu is okay for what we have. So I think you did perfectly well, and you get your score from your submission. Submit your assignment in your dashboard. If you have done that already, remind me, let me delete it or let me review it so that I can submit again. So that is it. You are good to go. We get to the next one. This is from module 8. We're having a noise in the background, so I have to be very quick. So this module 8, I wonder what this icon is doing over here. We don't need this icon at the top, so pull that icon out, and everything is good from here. This section is not having good padding left and padding right, so we have to space that a little more. Space it a little more so that we can have good padding to the left and right. There is no padding here, and that doesn't make much sense. Your content here are too much. Your content here should be around 3 lines. That's okay. You try to minify your content. Try to minify it. Don't put too much of content. It is not a blog. Okay, the rest of the content you can put it some other places. The font size you use here is too small, so use within 17. See what I said in the previous one, 17 pixels, 16, 17, 18 pixels are cool, but in this case I think this is okay. Somehow just add it 1 more pixel. If it is 15 you are using, make it 17, but for this one it is a no. This should be 16 pixels or 15 pixels. I think this is 14 you used here, but this one should be a little bit greater than the text size you use here. So this could follow the same rule as this one over here. The icons are okay, but I don't really feel the vibes. I think it's because of the icon color. So you can use a better icon color. Don't use blue for your icon colors. That doesn't make sense. You can mix and match colors to bring that effect you are looking at. Okay, so you put blue here, put green here, but put vibrant color in most cases, not dull colors like this. And whenever you're adding a stroke around, reduce the opacity. You didn't reduce the opacity of your stroke, as you can see from here, and it doesn't make any sense. Okay, you did well. Submit your assignments and I will score this from your dashboard. Then finally we have the one from Dera. The first one was from Special, the second one was from Ace Word, and the final one is from Dera. I think this is module 9 too. But one thing I want to point out here very clearly is that you used templates to do this work. I have reviewed and I examined this work, and I noticed you use templates in most cases, and that's not what I want. I want you to build stuff yourself, so you'll be remaking this whole design. Okay, remake the whole design according to what I guided you on. I didn't teach you on how to make this kind of slide I just pop in now, and I wonder where you got that particular element. So all of these are template, not because you didn't use that, but because you didn't follow the rules on what I taught you to do. Okay, so go back, watch that tutorial again. You're going to do this again. You're not following most rules here. Left and right column, I'm not enjoying the content from here. Why is there space, too much space in the middle, when we have elements jacking to the end here and the same happening here? I'm not going to talk about all of this for now. I'm going to leave you to remake this. We are going to cancel this project, and you're going to remake this whole project with a better concept. Okay, for the hero section, I talked about adding a layer at the back of this particular hero section to make the text more visible. You didn't do that. Okay, there should be an overlay over this image by the background so that the image text here should show. Your text should be a white color so that when you put the overlay and make it black, reduce the opacity, and it's going to work. You're having a problem with the button too. See, when I hover, see what happens. That's not what's supposed to happen. The button is supposed to be the same size whether you hover or not. That's number one. Number two, the button is too small for what it should be in the hero section. I talked about that from Spatial Designs work. And the effect here, animation effect here, is too harsh. It should slowly come in, like 4 pixels or 0.4 pixels of animation. It's okay, but this is too harsh. It's too sharp to my mouse. When you just hover on it, it should slightly happen, not just happen very quickly. Even your button, the same thing. See how it's jacking every environment. So test your work properly well before you submit it to me. Don't just submit assignment like that. This is not what I taught you. I never taught you anything that looks like this. Watch those tutorials very carefully and follow them one after the other. This is not what I taught you. I didn't ask you to make elements and push the text by the left and then leave the image by the right. This text should be right aligned, not left aligned. Why are you left aligning elements when you have an image by the right? And why this whole space over here? You're having too much of space over here and there is no space at this particular age. So it should be equal. If there's enough space here, there should also be enough, the same equal space you put here should be the same equal space. That's why whenever you land in a section, put a column inside it, make a column a particular size and center that column with that section. Select the section and center the column. Simple. You get the point. So you didn't center this content. Possibly you left aligned it and that's the problem we have. Like this one is centered, is okay, but your content is too bogus. Okay, if possible, mimic a particular project. In fact, chat me. I will send you a website which you are going to use as sample or as inspiration to make your own website. Okay, all of these animations and all of these advanced stuffs, you don't need them for now. All you need to learn is how to construct a good layout. Organize your layouts. Do your good layout organization. Your colors. All these most important things are what you need to do. Those simple and important things. Aligning element, aligning text, aligning images, finding a better way to separate sections. Sections shouldn't be separated by a border radius like this. Look at this border radius, top and bottom, left and right. Why will you put a border radius left and right when the element itself is touching to the wall? If it is touching to the wall, you don't need a border radius left and right. As you can see from here, we have a border radius at the top only. We don't have left and right because it is touching to the edge. You can only have that case when it is not touching to the edge. If case like this, you can put it at the center so that people can see the border radius. That's how border radius works. Okay, so that is it for what we have for today. Just chat me. I'll send you a sample of what you're going to work with and we'll be good to go. And that is it today. And I think you guys enjoyed this review. You can take what you learned from here to make corrections for future. We are going to be bringing more of this as more students will be submitting the assignments. Once again, my name is Manuel from Kata Studios. Do have a wonderful day.